Standing at the top of your mat. Strong, engaged glutes. Inhaling, arms above the head, shoulders down, gaze up between the hands. Exhale, floating forward, keeping that chest open, dropping the hands and the head. Inhale, flatten that spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank and hold it here. Now we're going to bring the knee to the elbow. So right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow. Exhale as you bring that knee forward. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Keep those elbows in, chest hits the ground first. Release. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, rolling back into downward facing dog. Gaze up between the hands, stepping or jumping the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, flatten the spine. Exhale, fold. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale to standing. Exhaling in prayer. Inhale, arms up above the head. Gaze up between the hands. Exhale, forward fold, chest open, dropping the hands in the head. Inhale, flatten that spine. Exhale, stepping or jumping back into plank. Stay here. Bringing your knee to its opposite elbow. Exhaling as you bring that knee forward. Inhaling as you return the foot to the mat. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga, chest hits the ground first, release, inhale, upward dog or cobra, exhale, rolling back into downward facing dog, goes up between the hands, walking the feet up to the top of the mat, inhale, flatten that spine, exhale, fold, squeeze the glutes, inhale to standing, exhaling in prayer, inhale, arms up above the head, gaze up between the hands, exhale, forward fold, chest open, drop the hands and the head. Inhale, flatten that spine. Exhale, stepping or jumping back into plank. Hold. Now come down onto your forearms. And we're going to be doing a type of dynamic plank. So you're wanting to draw your elbows back, bringing the body forward. Not pushing forward with the toes, but using the arms. Keeping your core nice and tight throughout. Hold. From this dolphin plank pose, come down to the mat, release the toes, bring the hands back. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, roll back into downward facing dog. Gaze up between the hands, stepping or jumping the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, flatten that spine. Exhale, fold, squeeze the glutes. Inhale to standing. Exhaling in prayer. Inhale, arms up, gaze up between the hands. Exhale, forward fold, dropping the head. Inhale, flattening that spine. Exhale, stepping or jumping back into plank. Stay there. Now you're going to take your right hand to the middle of your mat and come onto the outside of the right foot as you come up into a nice strong side plank. Now here you have options. If it's easier for you to come down onto your leg, just make sure that you're pulling up here through the side. Nice strong side plank. Your other options, if you don't want to stack the feet, are to actually stagger the feet, one in front of the other, or stack. Extend that left arm up towards the ceiling, and you can bring that foot to the inside of your right leg. Drop that foot down. Inhale, bring that hand down to the mat. Step your feet open and your right hand away. Exhale, chaturanga. Release. Inhale, Upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And flow forward into plank again. And bring that left hand to the middle of your mat. Come onto the outside of the left foot. Again, you can come down. Extend your arm up towards the ceiling. Stay there if you like. Or bring that foot to the inside of the left leg. Breathe. Rotate back to the mat. Stagger your feet. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Gaze up between the hands as you walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, flattening the spine. Exhale, fold, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, standing. Exhale. Inhale, arms up, gaze up between the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Chest open. Release. Inhale. Gaze up. Exhale, stepping or jumping back into plank. Stay here. And then come down again onto the forearms into a dolphin plank. And now you're going to spin this right forearm in and come into a side plank. Again, you can stagger your feet, you can stack your feet, or onto the lower leg. Just as long as you're working your obliques here and you're strong and you're keeping that pelvis lifted. If your feet are stacked, hand on the hip, and just slowly lower and raise those hips. Stay there. Come forward, back into that dolphin plank. Come down to the ground. Release the toes. Inhale. Upward dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Flow forward into plank. Come down again into that dolphin plank. And spin that left arm in. And come into your side plank on the left hand side, hand on the hip. And lower. Raise. Breathe. Come back into your dolphin plank. Lower to the mat. Release. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And walk or jump the feet up and come to a sitting position. From your seated position in the mat, we're going to come to some boat pose or navasana. So you want to sit, imagine you've got a tripod. So you've got your two sits bones and your coccyx, and you kind of want to sit on that little triangle. So wiggle around until you find that position. Now, what you want to focus on during this pose is drawing that navel back towards the spine, really, really strong, supporting that back. We don't want to collapse through the back. We want to keep it nice and stabilized and supported. Shoulders back, and you can bring your hands just behind your thighs. And then with your legs bent, pick your feet up off the ground, looking forward. If you're happy to stay like this, you just stay there. If you prefer to challenge yourself a little bit more, extend the arms, palms up. Breathe. Inhale, bring your hands behind your knees and drop the legs. And just rest for a moment. And then bring the feet up off the ground again. And again, you can hold the legs like this. You can release the hands, or if you like, extend the legs. Breathe. Bring the hands behind the knees, bend the legs, and bring the feet back to the ground. And you bring your hands to the ground as well if you like. And just take a few breaths. And you can repeat that again, or if you'd like to do a slightly more active option, bring the hands, feet up, release the hands, and come down. Exhale as you come up. Hands behind the legs, drop the feet, and take a few breaths. So we're going to come down onto our backs. So you can come straight down, or if you'd like to make it slightly more active transition, cross the legs, come forward, step or jump back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, rolling down, back into downward facing dog. Gaze up and then either stepping or jumping into a seated position. So come down onto your back and keeping your knees bent. Bring your feet up off the ground. Now I want you to try and work your lower back against the mat. So bring that navel down towards the spine so you get the slight rotation in the pelvis. And work on bringing that shoulders down and your hands along the mat just for a little bit of stability. And you're just going to, with control, keep that bend in the knee, and one leg at a time, lower that foot down to the mat and bring it back up. So this is all with control. Make sure your shoulders aren't hunching up, just keep them nice and flat. So think about that transverse abdominis really working hard to stabilize and look after that spine. And last one, coming up. The arms are out to the side. Inhale as you drop both legs to the ground. Try and keep these knees as high up as possible. And then you're going to exhale and lift the feet, or the legs rather, up off the ground. What's very important here is to make sure that that entire core is engaged. Don't let your back take over the work of doing the lifting. And press down with this right palm into the ground just to give yourself a little bit more support. So make sure that core is engaged. And exhale as you bring those feet up off the ground. Inhaling as you lower to the other side. Exhale, bringing the legs up off the ground. Inhaling, lowering to the right. Exhale, bringing them up. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And stop here. Bring the feet down to the mat. And also again, just bring them out to the edges. Let those knees fall in toward each other. Now from here, it's very easy just to come straight into Shavasana. Or if you do want to do another sequence, just clasp your hands behind your leg, rock up to a sitting position, and then cross the legs, come forward onto the hands, and just go through another salutation, another vinyasa to transition and prepare yourself for your next sequence.